Since the beginning of the war, Russia has relied heavily on air superiority and drone swarms to support its ground operations. The Ukrainian forces, outmatched by Russia's air fleet, had to depend on creative tactics and Western-supplied defense systems to survive. But with the arrival of the Martlet missile, the equation has changed dramatically. The UK's decision to provide this advanced weapon was not just symbolic, it was strategic. The Martlet brings accuracy, speed, and versatility that few other short-range air defense systems can match. Developed by Thales in the United Kingdom, the Martlet was initially designed to defend Royal Navy ships against fast, agile threats like drones, speedboats, and low-flying aircraft. But on land, it has proven to be a deadly tool for Ukrainian forces. Lightweight, portable, and adaptable, it can be launched from shoulder-mounted systems or from vehicles. Ukrainian troops have learned to integrate it seamlessly into their battlefield strategy, making Russian pilots think twice before flying too close to the front lines. What makes the Martlet so powerful is its precision guidance system. It uses laser beam riding technology, meaning the missile follows a laser beam pointed at the target until impact. This makes it extremely hard for Russian aircraft or drones to jam or evade it. Unlike heat-seeking missiles, the Martlet doesn't rely on the target's infrared signature, giving it a huge advantage against drones and low-heat aircraft. Even when Russian drones attempt to confuse Ukrainian defenses using decoys or low radar profiles, the Martlet stays locked in with deadly accuracy. In the early months after its introduction, Ukrainian soldiers tested the Martlet against Iranian-made Shahed drones and Russian Orlan reconnaissance UAVs. The results were astonishing. Videos released by Ukrainian units showed drones being blown out of the sky with pinpoint accuracy, even in bad weather or at night. These successful intercepts quickly spread across Ukrainian social media, boosting morale and showing that Russia's supposed technological advantage could be neutralized by a smaller, smarter weapon. The Martlet also has a unique advantage in its speed and range. It can reach targets up to 8 kilometers away at speeds exceeding Mach 1.5. That gives Ukrainian operators a fast reaction window to engage incoming threats before they can reach critical targets. Whether launched from manpad-style systems or mounted on armored vehicles, it has proven effective both in defensive and offensive scenarios. For Ukrainian troops in the trenches, it means better protection from low-flying attack helicopters like the Ka-52 Alligator, one of Russia's most feared weapons. The Ka-52 had been terrorizing Ukrainian ground forces with long-range rockets and guided missiles, often striking from beyond the range of most Ukrainian defenses. But now, with the Martlet, that dominance is crumbling. Ukrainian teams have successfully shot down multiple Ka-52 helicopters using the Martlet system, demonstrating its lethal potential. Each downed helicopter represents not just a tactical win, but a psychological one, proof that Russian air power can be countered effectively. One of the reasons the Martlet is such a game-changer is its simplicity of use combined with high-end technology. It doesn't require a massive radar network or complex launch infrastructure. A two-person team can operate it in the field, making it perfect for mobile defense units. This flexibility has allowed Ukraine to deploy Martlet units across various fronts, particularly where Russian drones have been causing the most destruction. Moreover, the Martlet integrates well with Ukraine's existing British-supplied systems, like the Starstreak missile. Both weapons share similar technology, but the Martlet is lighter and designed for multi-purpose use. This allows Ukrainian forces to tailor their response depending on the threat. For small, fast-moving drones, they can use the Martlet. For larger, faster aircraft, they can deploy the Starstreak. Together, these two systems create a layered defense network that Russia has struggled to penetrate. Western analysts have described the Martlet's performance in Ukraine as transformational. It's not just about its kill ratio, it's about how it changes Russian tactics. Reports suggest that Russian helicopter pilots are now flying higher, further away, and less frequently near the front lines. That reduces their effectiveness in supporting ground troops, which directly impacts Russia's ability to advance. Every time a pilot decides not to fly close enough for fear of being shot down, Ukraine wins a small victory. The missile's impact is also strategic. The British government's decision to supply Ukraine with Martlet missiles sends a powerful signal that the UK remains committed to supporting Ukraine's defense with cutting-edge technology. This decision strengthens Western unity and proves that even a relatively small, precise weapon can shift battlefield momentum. For Ukraine, this partnership has provided not only weapons but also crucial training and intelligence support, allowing them to maximize the effectiveness of these systems. As the war evolves, the importance of drone warfare continues to rise. Both sides are using drones extensively for reconnaissance, strikes, and psychological warfare. Russia has leaned heavily on cheap suicide drones to target civilian infrastructure. But the Martlet has proven to be one of the best counters to this threat. Ukrainian soldiers have intercepted waves of drones attacking power plants, ammunition depots, and command posts, preserving vital infrastructure and saving lives. In many ways, the Martlet represents the future of modern warfare: small, smart, and adaptable. It's not about having the biggest bomb or the fastest jet anymore. It's about precision, flexibility, and integration. Ukraine's success with the Martlet shows how a well-trained force using intelligent weapons can neutralize a much larger opponent. It demonstrates how technology and innovation can compensate for numerical inferiority on the battlefield. Behind every Martlet fired, there's also a deeper story, one of Western innovation meeting Ukrainian resilience. British engineers created this missile for naval defense, but Ukrainian soldiers have taken it to a completely new level, adapting it for land warfare and maximizing its impact. This adaptability shows how Ukraine's armed forces have evolved into one of the most creative and resourceful military forces in the world. Even Russian military bloggers, who often glorify the country's army, have been forced to acknowledge the effectiveness of Western-supplied air defenses like He Martlet. Some have complained that low-flying operations are becoming impossible without heavy losses. This is a clear indication that Ukraine's anti-air capabilities are now strong enough to contest Russian dominance in key areas. It's also worth noting how cost-effective the Martlet is compared to the damage it prevents. Each missile costs significantly less than the drones or helicopters it takes down. For Ukraine, that's an incredibly efficient exchange. A few $1,000s worth of missile can destroy millions of dollars worth of enemy equipment. In a long war of attrition, cost efficiency is just as important as firepower. In recent months, the UK has reportedly sent additional batches of Martlet missiles to Ukraine, ensuring that supply remains steady. The training of Ukrainian operators has also expanded, meaning more units can now deploy the weapon across the front lines. This steady supply ensures that Ukraine won't lose momentum and can continue to counter new Russian aerial tactics effectively. The Martlet's deployment has also opened the door for deeper defense cooperation between Ukraine and NATO countries. It has proven that Western technology can integrate seamlessly with Ukrainian systems. This strengthens the argument for Ukraine's eventual NATO membership and ensures that its armed forces remain interoperable with Western standards. As we look at the larger picture, the impact of the Martlet goes beyond Ukraine. It sends a clear message to every military power in the world that compact, smart, and versatile weapons can rewrite the rules of engagement. Countries are now studying the Ukrainian battlefield closely, analyzing how such missiles can be used in future conflicts. In many ways, Ukraine has become the testing ground for modern warfare strategies. For Russia, this development is alarming. The Martlet represents another layer of Western technology that Russia struggles to counter. Its air superiority, once considered an unshakable advantage, is slipping away. And without control of the skies, Russia's offensive capabilities weaken drastically. Ukrainian forces can maneuver more freely, conduct counterattacks, and protect their supply routes with greater confidence. The psychological impact cannot be overstated either. Every time Ukrainian soldiers post footage of a Martlet strike, it boosts morale at home and demoralizes Russian troops. It reminds everyone watching that Ukraine is not powerless, that with determination and smart weapons, they can push back even the most powerful invader. Looking ahead, the Martlet is likely to play a key role in Ukraine's continued defense and eventual counteroffensives. Its success could inspire even more support from the UK and other NATO allies. The lessons learned from its battlefield use may also shape future missile development, creating even more advanced systems that blend affordability with precision. In summary, the UK's Martlet missile has changed everything. It has given Ukraine a new kind of power, control of the low-altitude sky. Russian helicopters and drones that once dominated are now vulnerable, forced to retreat or fly higher. The skies over Ukraine are no longer Russian territory. They are contested, and increasingly, they belong to Ukraine. The Martlet is not just a missile, it's a symbol of resilience, partnership, and innovation. It shows what happens when modern technology meets courage and strategy. And as Ukraine continues its fight for freedom, weapons like the Martlet prove that intelligence and precision can overcome brute force. The war is far from over, but with each Martlet launched, Ukraine takes one step closer to securing its skies and its future.